Well, our moms think we're funny.
Hey everyone, it's Akomi. Just wanted to let you know, in case you missed the memo the first time, that Turk and I are going to be going on a little bit of a holiday break. So, today's episode for Friday, November 27th is going to be our last one for a little while. We're going to be going on a brief hiatus throughout the month of December. So you will see us post a Let's Watch on Monday, November 30th, and then we are going to be taking a break until Monday, January 4th, where we'll be returning with another Let's Watch. Then we'll resume the podcasts from there. Hope you guys have a good holiday season. Have fun, stay safe. Remember, Turk and I love you guys, and we will catch you guys later.
Yeah, so, hey man.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? How are you doing today, Akomi?
I'm great. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm great.
Yeah, I like to kind of, wow, I'm actually going to segue this really nice, except for the fact that I just mentioned I'm going to segue this really nice.
We do this every time.
But I'm normally like proud of myself when I do it, dude. I'm like, wow, that worked. So, I would say, we're doing our podcast, recording weekend. So, yeah, as people probably know if you've listened to us, for a while, that because of the distance and to make sure that we can, really get some good stuff in there. We've done some distance recordings, but sometimes we have problems with audio that really makes it either impossible for us to post it, or that it takes so much to edit that it just almost negates the whole thing. So we try to do our in-person thing once a month. And we just kind of like record a bunch of episodes and podcasts and Let's Watches, and we cram as much as we can in because it's a short time.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Sorry, I was about to go somewhere else with it, but I'm gonna keep it cool, keep it chill. But I was gonna say is we push ourselves to get as much done as we can. That way, we can all make sure that we hit our deadlines and get our stuff posted out there. So that always means that we have to kind of damage our bodies in a sense. We tend to eat a lot of fast food and junk food. If we even eat it all. So today we've only had one meal, and then we've had some junk food.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, what is it, like almost 3 o'clock in the morning? 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning.
And like the day before, we've been up for 26 hours. We went to bed about 8 or 9?
8 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, and then got up about 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then now here it is, we're going again. And we just kind of push our bodies like that. Because again, it's a once a month thing, and we want to make sure that we get everything done. And so with that being said, though, it's something it's a dedication, a devotion to what we're doing. We have a very strong work ethic when it comes down to you. Probably like, really? Because it doesn't come through in your content. Yeah, fuck you. So, but we have a very strong work ethic, and we want to do good stuff. We beep. Yeah, so we want to make sure we have really good, strong content. Now, anyway. And so we don't mind pushing ourselves that way, and we'll just make it up during the week. Some people don't push themselves that way, and they will take the easiest way out. And they were like, even if nothing really being asked or demanded of them, they will find a way to take the easiest way out, and they will just lounge around and not do anything. Just just lay in bed, all day, all night, whatever,
Yeah.
If I don't even have to get out of bed to pee, then I won't. And let me ask you a question, Akomi.
Yeah.
Who, if I can ask you, who does that remind you of? Who does that make you think of?
I mean, this sounds an awful lot like that no good son of a bitch, Grandpa Joe.
You know what? I would probably say he may very well fit that profile.
Yeah.
So
I'd say he fits that profile perfectly. You listeners at home, you know who I'm talking about, Grandpa Joe. He's that lazy fuck from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or I guess Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm sorry, I gotta use the right video title. who just lays in bed for 20 years like, oh, I'm too old and too sick to eat. Bring me my cabbage water to drink in bed because I'm so old and sick that I can't possibly get out of bed to even feed myself. Oh, what's this? You got a golden ticket? Well, motherfucker, let me jump up and do a song and dance routine. Hey!
So I do want to mention one thing, because everyone probably knows that you have a very strong hatred for Grandpa Joe.
My hatred for Grandpa Joe knows no bounds.
Hate Grandpa Joe. But one thing that you never talk about, that you just mentioned, but I don't think that you ever really go into detail on, is Grandpa Joe is so committed to not doing shit that he will do something as awful as drink cabbage water, like, which I'm assuming is like a soup. Like, I don't have like anything to make a soup of, so I'm gonna just put boil like cabbage in water, and then give you the broth, if that's what you can call it, of that. And he's like, I am so committed to not doing a fucking thing. I won't even get my ass up to go and get some real food. I will lay in this bed and drink cabbage water.
Yeah. And take it from Charlie. Charlie's like, here, Grandpa, you need it more than me. You need your strength.
So, okay, but I will say this. Charlie, he caters to Grandpa Joe and says, fuck the other relatives there. You never see him offering them anything. And then Grandpa Joe does that other thing. He's like, hey, Charlie, come here. I got this for you. It's like, it's a Wonka bar. But like, wait, you got it for me? You actually got up out of bed and walked in and said, oh no, you had Mom go buy it for you. Oh, okay. And where'd you get the money for that? Did you find it in the street? Oh, no. Oh, it was money that she got. But you bought me the bar. Thank you. Thank you, Grandpa Joe. Thank you.
Yeah.
No. I'm not pro or con Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe, how'd you get this money? Well, Charlie, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
So with that being said, and you were going off about Grandpa Joe earlier, I had this idea.
I don't think that I was going off on Grandpa Joe. I think I was explaining why I'm right about Grandpa Joe.
You were still going off. So anyway, I wanted to kind of say, with all that, I had this idea, this thing that popped into my head, and I was like, I wonder if he's ever thought about this.
Okay.
So as you know, so as you just described, Grandpa Joe, he just kind of, he's kind of like a user when it comes to Charlie. It's like, oh, hey, like, what? You want to take it to the chocolate factory? Well, hell yeah, let's go to the chocolate factory. That could be fun. Yeah.
Well, shit, Charlie, that's all you had to say.
Right. It's like, yeah, I can go with you. Sure, why not? Well, I'm feeling better all the time. Look at me, I'm moving like Fred Astaire. So anyway, with all that, right? And he's basically kind of like, he's been maybe in a sense grooming Charlie this whole time. Right? Like, playing up to him like, oh yeah, Charlie, you're my favorite. And you're like, I love you more than any of my other grandsons. And you always give me your cabbage water and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, what I'm getting to with this is, I kind of feel, it kind of reminds me of something else.
Okay.
Star Wars prequels. So I want you to imagine, if you will, Grandpa Joe as Palpatine grooming Child Anakin.
Charlie, I'm too weak. Unlimited power.
Because the way you describe it, I'm like, hey, that's kind of that's kind of him, right?
Yeah.
This whole like, I'm gonna groom you to be what I want you to be and think the way I want you to think, and then in the end you're gonna give me what I want, which is a reason to continue to not do shit, and basically live off you and your mom.
Yeah.
But since your mom's getting kind of old, I need someone new to live off of, so that's gonna be you, Charlie.
Even though he's the only reason Charlie failed the test. He told him to steal the fizzy lifting drinks.
True.
Piece of shit. And then he has the balls, the unmitigated gall even, to go off on Willy Wonka for saying, hey guys, you shouldn't steal my shit when I said one simple thing, don't steal my shit. And he's like, oh, you're an inhumane monster, Wonka. Habla, habla, habla. Cuck. So yeah, Palpatine.
God, you hate him so much. I love it. I am so giddy with how much you hate him. Because, like, I think the whole time I've known you, when you went from being like the somewhat like rational Akomi to like the guy that I have here now, which I have to say that, you know, I think that a lot of this may have something to do with me. The change, like, you saw me and you're like, hey, I think it might be okay to, you know, to kind of be a dick sometimes, part of the time, all the time. So
you just brought out what was already there. It's cool.
I just stripped away the surface stuff. Like, but it's nice to see you go off on him the way I've gone off on things and just be like, just rant and just rage and burn. And then, like, after all this time, like, you finally found your thing. And it's like, wow, that's amazing.
So let's see. It's been a hot minute since I've seen the Star Wars prequels, because, motherfucker, they're hard to watch.
I like them.
They're tough for me, man.
I mean, well, okay, so the first one is, like, so damn slow.
Yep.
It's you know, it really is a slog to get through. But, like, oh my goodness. But the other ones are, I mean, again, the reason I like them is because I like seeing the full story come together and watching Palpatine lay out this big plan.
It is interesting. I'll give that. Now, did I send you the thing that somebody pointed out about Episode 1 and Darth Maul?
No, what?
When we first see Darth Maul engage with the Jedi, he has no idea who Anakin is. So he has no way of knowing who Anakin is. It's just some random kid that they picked up at the junk shop. So that means that Darth Maul is flying along his speeder bike out in the desert and just sees this random ass kid and he's like, I'm gonna run this little sumbitch down.
I think, okay, he knew that, he might have known because of the little spyball warp that he sent.
Maybe.
Because that goes down there and trails him and it comes back and tells him information. So that may have picked up on who he was.
Maybe.
It's
I
possible.
like my theory better.
or it could be that, he's just like, you know, I hate the Jedi, I hate everything about the Jedi. If you're with them, then I hate you too, and I'm gonna kill you, little brat.
Jedi make me so mad, I wish there was a kid here. You!
So yeah, there's that. But I like watching the whole plan of everything come together. And like this long ass plan that, you know, I would have started to speed things along, which if it had been me, which would have just messed everything up. So, you know, I will say, you know, in that regard, Palpatine's better than me because he really knows how to play the long game.
So what I'm picturing here with Grandpa Joe as Palpatine is him in the bed with his cabbage water propped up on his pillows, and then the Jedi all coming in and going, the Senate will decide his fate. And then and then Grandpa Joe going, so you've chosen death, and then doing that spin through the air that he does.
It's like, so, I've decided that being Charlie's mother and his legal guardian, that I'll be the one to go with him to Willy Wonka's factory. No!
Help me, Charlie, I'm too weak. He's too dangerous to be left alive. I'm too weak, Charlie, help me. Unlimited power!
He gets a bite of a chocolate bar. There's like a big sugar rush. Unlimited power! Starts throwing Oompa Loompas through the air.
Just takes a sip of fizzy lifting drink and starts flipping through the air.
That's what it is. That's what makes him fly. He's just floating through the air.
So that means Mace Windu would just be Wonka.
Yeah, I guess he would be. Or, yeah, I guess so. I guess
Yeah, he's already got the purple coat, so
That's
it goes
true.
well.
It goes with the lightsaber. So yeah. So like I said, I thought about that and I was like, huh. So let me see what Akomi thinks of this. That because like I say, to me when I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, they kind of are the same thing. And like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna manipulate you and just groom you to do and be what I want, and then in the end, be like, oh hey, now you can take care of me.
Have you seen, I have no idea what it's from, have you seen that video of Call an Ambulance But Not For Me?
No.
It's
I don't even know what that is.
It's so stupid, but it's totally Grandpa Joe, so it fits. But there's this old guy about to get in his car, and this guy, this mugger, like, comes up to him with a switchblade, and he's like, hey, old man, drop your wallet. And he, like, bends way over his car, and he goes, oh, call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! And then he, like, whips around with a gun and goes, but not for me! And he shoots the guy. It's the stupidest thing ever, but I love it.
Oh, man. Call an ambulance, but not for me. Yeah, I had not seen that.
It's good.
Oh.
It's good stuff. But yeah, no, that makes me think of Grandpa Joe, too.
that he would just be that kind of deceitful guy. Like, oh, I'm going to take it.
Oh, somebody help! I'm old and weak. Call an ambulance, but not for me.
My name is Grandpa Joe. How do you do? Now you gonna die. Oh.
Yes, Your Honor. They died, and I hope they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Oh, like those fucking Oompa Loompas.
He just systematically murders Oompa Loompas the entire tour through the chocolate factory.
Yeah, that's the part that you didn't see.
Yeah.
Like him like kicking him into the chocolate river.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
like as he's like swimming down the fizz, like from the fizz lifting drink, he grabs him and throws him up into the fan.
Yeah, everybody's all focused on Augustus. He just like kicks an Oompa Loompa into the water, and then he like holds his head down. He's like, shh.
Oh, that.
Just Friday the 13th with Grandpa Joe and Oompa Loompas, man.
Oompa Loompa Doompa Dee no. Called the cops on Grandpa Joe. Oompa Loompa, do what he said. If you don't, we'll all wind up dead.
When they're in the boat and then they're doing the paddle boat thing and Wonka's singing, Grandpa Joe just tosses one of the spokes of the paddle boat.
We'll have to go back and look and see if there's like a one less from when that boat started to when it stopped. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's like I just figured he got off early, but yeah, maybe not.
It's deleted footage that interspersed throughout all the creepy singing and footage. There's just an Oompa Loompa on the spoke of the boat going, ah! Ah! Ah!
Wonka, how do you stop this crazy thing? Oh, woo! So while we're on the subject of Willy Wonka,
Okay.
I texted you with an idea, or an idea, like a thought I had in my mind, and I was like, hey, this is, what do you think? Does this line up? Because it seems like it lines up in my mind. Does this line up, this match up? And you're like, yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And, so and then from that I was like, oh, hey, well, what about this? and you're like, oh yeah, maybe. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, I can't remember specifically what it was that you brought up.
Okay, so I will pull it up here. Excuse me while I whip this out.
Oh.
All right. So it was about Friday the 13th.
Yeah, okay. Was that the one with the Oompa Loompas coming out?
Right. So okay. So I've been watching a lot of Friday the 13th lately, just because it's been on like was it Sci-Fi or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And they've just been showing a lot of it, and I've just been watching it, just like, oh my god, these movies are so bad. And so I texted you and said, you know, hey, does this line up? Because it feels like it lines up. And so the thing was, Willy Wonka is or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the basically like it sets the mold for like the Friday the 13th movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go back to my my original like text to you here.
Yeah, because didn't you write out a sample song?
I did.
Yeah.
So, shit, was it that long ago?
It was a while back.
Really? I guess so.
Yeah, it's always weird to think that it's a month in between recording sessions.
Oh wow! It's just I just came across a text that said "Rock and Roll is available on Amazon Prime now." Oh, I made a mistake.
Oh, a tragic, tragic mistake.
Okay. So, so I basically said that Willy Wonka set the rules for the Friday the 13th movies.
Mm-hmm.
So when you watch Willy Wonka, and as we've talked about it many, many times, I wouldn't have thought that we would have been able to get this much material, like ongoing material, out of Willy Wonka. I wouldn't have.
We're 20 minutes into this, so we may get more than a micro episode.
Okay.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so think about Friday the 13th, and we're saying, in Willy Wonka, a factory, in this case, for Friday the 13th is a camp, closed to the public for years,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids and their parents, or counselors, right, they go to it. Instead of having fun, the bad ones are picked off one by one until Charlie, or aka the final girl, shows that he's worthy. Or in this case, worthy meaning that he defeats the evil villain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the basis of all of the Friday the 13th movies. So you have Willy Wonka, and like, the factory has been shut down. They haven't done anything for years, and then all of a sudden the smoke starts up, and they're like, oh, the factory's working again, which it's kind of weird because he's still been putting out chocolate bars. So I'm not, okay, whatever. And then like he holds the whole thing. People go into the factory to go visit because no one's seen or talked to him in a long ass time. They show up there, and then one by one, they're all picked off by creepy ass Wonka and all his stuff. Because I mean, everything that happens, even though they kind of do it to themselves, it's all his machinations.
Yeah,
it's his chocolate river. It's his fizzy lifting drink, his egg sorter, all that kind of stuff.
And he never prevents it. It's always like, oh no, it'll be fine.
Right. So, so they all get picked off. The bad ones all get picked off, and of course, just like in a Friday the 13th movie, we're the people that we don't like or not supposed to like, they are identified very early on. Like, I hate that person. And then, and in the end, the final girl defeats him. It's like, it's like, basically it's a Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then I say, what we should do is we should like watch the Friday the 13th movies and then like write an Oompa Loompa song after each one of the murders.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that'd be kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Like, so if we did Friday the 13th, and then write an Oompa Loompa song after each one of the murders, that'd just be kind of funny. So, like, the one I had, for those of you that know our stuff, this was just one I just kind of created on the fly. It was just, first person gets killed in, Friday the 13th, and then, like, the Oompa Loompa song starts off, and it's like, sex at camp is a very nice treat, not at home steady beating your meat. Letting kids drown is a forgivable crime. Damn it, Jason, it's not swimming time. No, Jason, it's not swimming time. but I just think that if you agree with that, right, that logic there, then I'm like that. That just seems like it would just match up perfect, right? I mean, it would just be fun to take each one, just like write an Oompa Loompa song about them. That just seems like that'd be kind of funny. It would be a lot of songs.
It would be a lot of songs.
We'd have to watch a lot of Friday the 13th.
Jason's got a high ass body count.
Yeah.
A harpoon shot into your chest.
Yeah, see, you've already got it down pat.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the same cadence the entire time, so... It's good stuff.
You can't drive without those keys. Dun, 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 dun. I played Pamela Lover He's, so it just works,
Yeah.
if you can not stutter through it. Yeah, I think that would be kind of awesome. Now, if we can then
Rachel's
just
rolling down the ramp. Oompa.
You should not have gone to camp. See, it works. It just works, man.
You should have never come to camp. Your wheelchair's rolling down the ramp.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, Lord.
You keep punching with your fist. Dun, 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 dun. Jason's starting to get pissed. You see? That's for Jason Takes New York.
A convenient vat of toxic waste. Oompa, loompa, doopity-doo.
Steady thinking with your cock. Jason just knocked off your block. So now we got the black guy song already done for that. It's great, man. So yeah, I think that'd be awesome. We have, like I said, we'd have to watch a lot of them, or at least just like find an edit of like just all the kills and just watch those over and over again.
Yeah.
Then we could just like write all the things. So yeah, here you go. Here's songs to sing after that.
Yeah, we've got to know like what the person does to warrant getting killed. So
Right.
it'll still take a minute.
I was watching the third one the other day, and the one guy that's I guess pulling all the different pranks and stuff, and he goes in there, and the woman because Jason slit his throat, the fat kid, and then at first she's like, get up or something, and then she sees the blood, she's like, oh! I'm like, well, a good prank like that would have like fake blood. You still have not determined whether or not he's really dead or if it's just an elaborate prank. I mean, that would have not been the thing. It's like, oh, he used blood this time. He's like, he promised he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Johnny Depp promised that he would tell Stan if he ever became a robot. But still, yeah. Friday the 13th movies. This was just so bad.
But Willy Wonka movies are so good.
But we can't do Oompa Loompa songs for the fifth one. Because it's not Jason. It doesn't really follow the pattern.
Yeah.
So we can't do Oompa Loompa songs for that one.
Yeah, that's true. We'll just sing shit in the voice of Grandpa Joe. I've got a golden ticket.
Oh man, if only we had the editing skills to do that, to like replace like the ending to when they like pull off the guy's mask and it's Grandpa Joe underneath. It's like, ah!
See, now you're thinking deep fake technology can be a good thing.
No, I was just talking about like just like a really shitty like insert of like Grandpa Joe.
Oh
there.
shit, yeah, I could do that. But God, I would love to deep fake Grandpa Joe as Jason Voorhees, because like in part 2 when he like takes the mask off, or part 3 when he takes the mask off while he's hanging.
God,
from the loft, just pull that off, and it's just Grandpa Joe. Charlie.
That's such a horrible scene.
It's great.
I just want you to see that I'm merely challenged and I'm going to kick your ass. Because it's not like the way it's done. It's not even like it accidentally came off when he's taking the noose off. He takes it off purposely and he gives her.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh, oh man. Oh, it's yeah. But I don't think we can do one for the first one either because it's Mrs. Voorhees. So we can't do Oompa Loompa song for that one. It has to start with 2.
Yeah.
And then go from there. Yeah, that's...
Unless the Oompa Loompas are entities of Camp Crystal Lake in general.
Huh?
Unless the Oompa Loompas are entities of Camp Crystal Lake in general.
Oh, I guess it could be. I mean, but, Okay. So, yeah. So Grandpa Joe is just, he's either evil like Palpatine or evil like Jason. It's like, all he wanted was to get a bath and go to the chocolate factory. But you guys weren't watching out for him. And after 20 years of just lying in bed, he didn't have the strength to swim on his own. It's like, and he drowned out there in that lake. His name was Grandpa Joe.
He said Bob to the surface. Charlie! You gotta burp, Charlie!
Hey, Grandpa Joe, you can take my life raft. I don't need it.
Yeah, at the end of the first movie, after he kills Mrs. Voorhees and he's out on the boat, and it's the next morning, and Grandpa Joe just bursts out of the water, and he's like, "Let us there!"
Oh, see, yeah, that'd be great. Grandpa Joe busting out of the water. That would be beautiful. Oh, I still don't hate Grandpa Joe, but this is fun. I mean, yeah, there's something very, very wrong with him.
Yeah,
There's
he's a
something
sack of shit.
With that whole, like, what about the other family members? You think they were actually really ill?
I mean, they didn't get up dancing and singing like, "Oh, you gotta take me to the chocolate factory, Charlie."
Well, it's because Charlie never does anything nice for them or shows them any favoritism.
That's because Grandpa Joe's got Charlie wrapped around his little finger. His middle finger, yeah. It's like...
See, twirl, Charlie!
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like you said earlier, Grandpa Joe's grooming Charlie, and now Charlie just simps for him all the time. And I imagine that, like, Charlie's parents have had that conversation of, like, Thomas, your father is a fucking leech. He could be working out in the fields or out on the fishing dock or something, anything to take this horrific burden off of this family because he's the only one of the family who's not really an invalid. And for 20 years he's been living off of us, and Charlie's like, "No, you can't talk about Grandpa Joe that way. He's an angel." Yeah, just one of those open family secrets. They know what's going on.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's,
Grandpa Joe's poor wife is, like, laying there in bed, staring up at the ceiling, going, "That son of a bitch. If I could actually use my legs, like Joe, I would kick him out of the bed right now."
I hate golden tickets. They make the chocolate taste nasty.
This chocolate bar tastes like tinfoil. This really hurts my teeth because Grandpa Joe's the only one who gets dental care in this household. I subscribe to Grandpa Joe's OnlyFans just to support him further.
Geez. Why is Grandpa Joe having OnlyFans? Oh, Grandpa Joe, your new subscription to, like, men's long sleeping gowns have come in. Ooh, it's the fall collection.
That's what's in his OnlyFans. It's just like these pictures of him increasingly lifting up the nightgown further and further.
So whatever happened to Charlie's dad?
He's in the movie, isn't he?
No.
Huh?
No, it's just Charlie, the 4 grandparents, and the mom.
Oh. He probably left when he realized what a piece of shit Grandpa Joe is.
That's what I was thinking. You know, he was like, "Look, we are not taking care of them. Absolutely not. He can fucking walk on his own. Why are you enabling him?"
You know, that's what happened. Like, that's the whole untold prequel movie, is that, like, Charlie's dad would walk into the room and Grandpa Joe would be up, like, stretching and being like, oh, man, if I don't get up more, these bed sores are going to kill me. And then he's like, oh, Joe! And he, like, jumps back into bed.
You know, I actually think Charlie's dad is the really bad math teacher. That's why he treats Charlie like shit, because he knows Charlie didn't have any money. He's like, Charlie, how many did you eat? And he goes, like, 2. It's like, okay, 2, whatever it is. Like, 2, no, just, it's like, well, I can't do that, you poor little fucker.
Yeah.
What, you only had 2? Oh no.
I don't know how to work with numbers that small. Small like your grandfather's heart. And then he, like, looks in the camera and smiles.
You know what would be... This is what you don't see at the end of Willy Wonka, when it's like, after they're floating around, and it's like, you know what happened to the kid? You know, they got everything he wanted? What? He lived happily ever after. It's like, wow, I live happily ever after when I get whatever I want. What you want, Charlie, is not to go back for those other people. They're just going to hold you down, Charlie. They always have. And he comes back to the dance like, oh, the tour was over hours ago. Where's Charlie and Grandpa Joe? And he comes to a week later, his mom is like at the gates banging and everything. She's like, tell me what happened to my boy!
Let me in! Let me in!
You purple-wearing bastard! You curly-haired fuck!
No, what happens is that after he tells Charlie, oh, you know, he lived happily ever after, then he's like, Joe, I've got a joke for you. What do you get when you combine a social outcast with treating him like garbage for 20 years? You get what you fucking deserve, and then he shoots Grandpa Joe. Kicks him out of the glass elevator.
and then he looks at Charlie, and he's like, and Charlie's like, you killed Grandpa Joe. And he looks at him and goes, crisscross. And that's the end. It was all set up. Charlie was the mastermind the whole time. Crisscross.
I like our movies. We come up with really good ideas.
And I don't know why I'm helping you to make Grandpa Joe a bad guy. I don't hate Grandpa Joe that way.
You just need to watch the movie again. He's a piece of shit, dude.
So, tell me, Charlie, did you get the other golden ticket? There was no golden ticket, Grandpa Joe. And it's like, I taught you a lot of things, Charlie, but I never taught you how to lie. That's why you're so bad at it. Yes, that was Grandpa Joe as Thanos.
Did we get the golden ticket, Grandpa? Yes. What did it cost? Everything. Camera pans over to Charlie's mom, dead in a ditch.
And you see like a life insurance policy on the table. Did you see him? Did you see him? Who? The old man that had my office. he just left, and it's like, yeah, back when I was laying in bed, back with my daughter and Charlie, we used to drink cabbage water. And
Charlie's like, this floor sure is cold and hard, Grandpa Joe. He's like, no, there has to just be 4 people in this bed, Charlie. Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Yeah, I don't know why I just thought of like Grandpa Joe as Kaiser Sose.
He fills in any villain role perfectly. Any villain, he's just great.
Yeah, I can just see that, just cutting back to like all the things from like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You see that Grandpa Joe was the one that pushed Augustus in, and and you see him
when Wonka's offering him the gum, he like swaps it out with the bad gum.
And then he like leans over to Brooker and is like, "Pretty girl like you should have too."
and Willy Wonka is like trying really hard to figure it out. It's like, no, I could have sworn I had the formula perfected. And he like looks over at Grandpa Joe, and Joe's like, they'll never fucking believe you.
Oh, so you get that? I think that works. My guess is that Grandpa Joe will surface one more time. Like, you know, like that. Boom, and it shows like the big calligraphy, like Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. It's just Joe.
Then he shows up as Bats and Baby Driver.
I guess his name would just be Bat.
Yeah, Bat.
Well, Bat's not my real name, Doc.
Doc is just Willy Wonka.
Well, it takes 3 letters to spell your name, Joe. Oh, and Charlie be baby?
Yeah.
Be baby?
Yeah.
See, that works. I like that.
You wouldn't be lying to me, would you, Charlie? No. You didn't bump my arm on purpose, did you, Charlie? No, I didn't. You're a bad liar, Charlie.
Where's my TV? He's long gone, baby.
My TV.
I left my cap gun behind. What? I left my cap gun behind. Not groovy, my TV. Not groovy at all.
That's so good.
Wait, why are you making me do this, man?
It's so funny. They go to the gas station. He's like, "Anybody want any Wonka bars?" And he comes out with a whole box of them. Drive!
Oh, wow. You see Slugworth leaving. If you gotta see me again, it's because I'm dead. And then we cut to like Grandpa Joe just somewhere like in an alley. Oh, man. Now,
Pains me so much to take candy from Charlie, but takes the whole stack of bills from him.
So I guess, so who would Deborah be? Would it be
I guess Violet,
I guess it would have to be Violet.
because Veruca's way too much of a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, Violet's not much better, but yeah, that's yeah, I can see that. But then I guess Veruca would have to be Darling then,
I guess so.
and then so if Mike was JD,
yeah.
then who
Grandpa
would
Joe was Bats.
who would shit
Augustus Gloop would be Buddy.
Augustus' buddy?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, he's the only other like male kid on tour there.
Yep.
So.
And you're like, and I can see the whole thing now. It's like, yeah, then you go out there running around with your girl, like, you know, in her nut factory, and you get a nice taste for chocolate bars, don't you? You start racking up a lot of debt.
You think you know me, you don't.
Why does Augustus sound like Schwarzenegger?
That's the only dramatic accent I can do.
We must get to the chocolate.
Get to the chocolate, Dylan.
No, he didn't kill you because you didn't steal anything from him. Wow, that's
She was a good girl, Charlie. Is Violet a good girl for you, Charlie?
oh.
I love it so much.
Violet's perfectly normal and not spherical. Let's keep it that way.
I mean, come on, Charlie, your debt's paid off. This is where the fun begins. I mean, do you really want to be spending the rest of your life drinking cabbage water?
It's a good thing you like candy, Charlie. Because you're going to be making it for the rest of your life. Okay, so now I got one for you.
Okay.
Okay, where are we at? Because we knew this was not the intent of this podcast at all.
45 minutes in, it's a whole ass episode, dude.
Okay, so here we go. Grandpa Joe as Freddy Krueger.
Oh, Freddy Krueger, hell yeah. He's just killing all the Wonka kids. Welcome to primetime, Charlie.
I guess that would actually be Mike TV since he's always the one watching.
Yeah. Welcome to primetime, Mike. When the Elm Street kids finally figure out who he is and what the parents did, they're like, yeah. Hey, was he a child murderer? No, he was just a lazy piece of shit. He stayed in bed 20 years just to get out of working. Like, God.
He wears a long white sleeping gown. A little pointed like sleeping cap. He's got a dirty shaggy beard. Augustus, you look thirsty. Have a drink. No thanks. I'm fine the way I am. For now, maybe.
Just gives him fizzy lifting drinks. Gus just floats off into space.
He goes right into the fan.
9999! Charlie is the narrator, Grandpa Joe is Tyler Durden.
Oh, well. And see, I was trying to think of like a nice 99 love balloons like joke for Augustus's death. See. Oh, wow.
But instead of pushing for anarchy, he's just pushing for, like, everybody give me shit. Charlie, do you know what a duvet is? It's a blanket, that's right. It's a blanket, I should be under that blanket.
It's like, it gets cold, Charlie. My legs, they're cold.
My legs don't work. It's a miracle I was able to walk to the bar tonight. Grandpa Joe never gets involved in the fights himself. See that kid, Charlie? I want you to punch him as hard as you can. What? I want you to hit that kid as hard as you can. Have you ever been in a fight, Charlie? No. That's right. How you gonna know anything about yourself, Charlie?
That works.
It's so
It's
stupid.
like, you don't know where I've been, Lou. You don't know where I've been. I mean, Wonka, you don't know where I've been. Just give me the chocolate factory like I has, and there'll be no problems.
The movie opens with him, like, shoving a Wonka bar in Charlie's mouth. This is it, Charlie's hero hour. Any last words?
The ticket makes the chocolate taste nasty. Oh, so I got a homework assignment for you. You're gonna go out, you're gonna trick a bunch of kids into going to your factory, and then you're gonna kill them one by one.
Technically, you're fucking Wonka, but it's all the same to him.
Oh. You know what cabbage water is, Charlie? And it's like, ancient people found that when they didn't have anything to make real food out of, they put cabbage in boiling water. It's like, then they noticed that when they drank that water, it kind of gave them a little bit of nourishment, even though it didn't taste very good. You know what this is, Charlie? It's a cabbage, the crucial ingredient. We mix it with boiling water, make a nice brothy thing forms in the pot. Can I see your ladle, please?
Whack!
Don't drink my fucking cabbage water!
I need more strength, Charlie! No, I'm going into my cave. Who can take a sunrise? Shut up! It's the greatest moment of your life, Charlie!
Charlie, what happened to your hand? Nothing, Mom. His
mom is Marla.
It looks broken.
I love that his mom is Marla.
Why are we so evil?
That's so good. Augustus is Bob. Charlie. It's me, Bob.
Yeah, Augustus.
Augustus.
He's licking chocolate off his fingers.
found something so much better. I go on Thursdays.
Augustus had bitch tits. He had a lot of cocoa beans just straight from the tree.
When they're doing the guided meditation, it's just Violet describing the gum. It's a turkey dinner! Lots of gravy and mashed potatoes!
And then when he's in his power cave, his mom starts goes up to him and she's like, Charlie! He starts singing this song. Oh my goodness.
So good.
Guys, wait, what she done before you died? Get a golden egg! Get a real gun!
How about you, Charlie? Nothing. I don't wish anything. Not good enough, Charlie! I wish I'd kicked your ass out in the street years ago, Grandpa Joe! Is that what you wanted to hear?
And then one day, Grandpa Joe was gone.
Charlie's in the bed, covered up with Grandpa Joe's blanket. He's like, rest up, Charlie, you need your strength.
Oh my god, we're just joking around, but okay, check this out though, right? And it's like, welcome back, sir. It's like, you know me? And it's like, is this a trick? No test? No, it's not a test. And
It's like a Oompa Loompa in an egg brace.
he's got a cast on. It's like, it's like, no, this is not a test. You were in here last Thursday, sir, asking how the security was. Make sure the reporter stayed out. Ties the drum, sir. And it's like, wait. Hey, who am I? You sure this isn't a test? And it's like, you're Grandpa Joe. You're the one that broke my fucking hand. And then Charlie looks in the mirror. He's like an old ass Grandpa Joe. Why do people think that I'm you? I think you know. It's like, you were looking for a reason to get out of bed. You could not do this on your own.
I sleep like you want to sleep. I dance like Fred Astaire.
Yeah, I think that works, man. I think it absolutely works.
I'm pitiable, manipulative, and most important of all, I'm free in all the ways that you are not.
And then, like, the big thing is, like, instead of, like, blowing up the place, he breaks into Wonka's factory and, like, kills him and takes it over.
He's just gonna blow up the chocolate factory.
I raised you at a very strange time in my life.
So
They respect
good.
each other's hands up in the hand with ladles. Like,
The whole house smelled like chocolate.
Oh, I was right there making soap. He's making chocolate.
Yeah. Oh, he's making cabbage soup, that's right.
Cabbage
The whole house stuck with cabbage water.
Oh god, that would stink, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cabbage is dead. Yeah, that would be horrible.
Grandpa Joe, where are we? Cabbage processing plant.
What do you want? Yeah, I'll have 2 chocolate bars and
Scrumdiddlyumptious bar.
Yes. Sir, all of our chocolate is Slugworth. No chocolate bars, thank you.
Just the gobstopper then. They go to the Jolly Green Giant factory to get cabbage out of the dumpster. Rich, creamy out of the land, Charlie.
Wait, where are we? The Jolly Green Giant factory.
Instead of the security guard coming out to shine the flashlight, it's just the giant.
And that would be it'd be Sprout.
Oh yeah.
He's shining the flashlight.
I love how much more sinister it is when it's not Fight Club, it's just some sick old fuck who's making children beat each other.
For chocolate. He's making them beat each other for chocolate. Oh,
Why'd you do that to Mike TV, Charlie? I felt like destroying something beautiful.
oh.
That's why Mike TV talks with the lisp. You knocked my front teeth out, sir.
It's like, where's Augustus? He was killed serving like Project Wonka bars. It's like, what do you do? Take him to the river and sink him. What? Take him to the river and sink him.
Pipes will build up pressure, Charlie. It's like a bullet.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's the real, like the alternate ending to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So they're flying through the air, right? And they're flying off. Cause it all takes place in one day. Daddy, like you. Heavens to Murgatroyd. So they're flying through the air, and all of a sudden you hear this, poof, and then Gus's body comes flying out of this thing and smashes into the glass elevator.
Shatters it.
Yeah, just go raining from the sky.
It's that Superman cam where he's like stationary, but the camera's kind of vibrating around him as he soars through the air.
And then we cut to like one of the Oompa Loompas, and they're being interviewed, like the Rick and Morty thing. He's got the solid light, the single light on them, and he's got a cigarette, and he's like, there were no Vinicius Knits. It was all just a lie that he made to make people feel comfortable about his enslavement of us. We hated that we had to kill Augustus, but we knew that in the end he was going to get in that glass elevator. And it was the only thing that could take him down. I don't mind being the one to suffer the consequences, for our freedom. Just as long as Wonka's dead. As long as Wonka's dead. Oh wow, we
Oh my god, this went off the rails so beautifully. I think this is my favorite podcast we've ever done.
The evils of Grandpa Joe. I see. We could name this one. See what. Every Grandpa Joe's every. I don't know. It's it's something that would describe like how Grandpa Joe could basically play any movie villain. Or it's every movie villain.
Grandpa Joe, the embodiment of evil.
Oh, there you go. The embodiment of evil.
All right. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we weren't expecting this to be a full episode. We thought it was going to be a micro episode.
We were not, but I'm glad that you did decide to change it over to a micro episode, and suppose of us trying to tack it on to the end of the other one.
Yeah, to swap over another recording. Yeah, we got a whole ass episode out of this.
Yeah, out of all because I had an idea of Grandpa Joe as Palpatine.
Yeah, this went a beautiful direction, and I couldn't be happier with it.
But Charlie, Grandpa Joe was evil. From my point of view, the Oompa Loompas are evil.
Then you are lost, dear boy! Good day to you, sir!
I said good day! And see, that would make perfect sense because Grandpa Joe never would have told him about the high ground.
Yeah! He's just like, Charlie, the secret is the fizzy lifting drink. So when Willie's like, no, Charlie, I have the high ground. And Charlie pulls out the fizzy lifting drink. And he's like, you underestimate my power. And he chugs it down and then he just floats into a ceiling fan. And chops off his arms and legs.
I can see him floating around like the guy from Dune.
Yeah.
Like Charlie floating around. Ah!
He's just floating there with no arms and legs going, I hate you! I was going to give you the chocolate factory, Charlie! I loved you!
And that's what the Death Star is. The Death Star is his own chocolate factory.
Yeah.
It's just one big giant chocolate factory floating in space. All the stormtroopers are, because the Oompa Loompas may be cloned, so then all the stormtroopers are. It works, man.
The monster in the garbage disposal is just Augustus after all these years.
Yeah, he's still alive.
He just bursts out of the chocolate water at the bottom of the dome. He's like, I'm hungry!
Oh man, that
we're such fucking retards.
Oh man, yeah, that is horrible. Wow, we are not good people.
We're fine people. Grandpa Joe's not good people. Oh, Lord. Well, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Grandpa Joe, the embodiment of evil. You know, if what we need to do though is, if I can remember and then find the way to do it is, when we post the YouTube version of this podcast,
Yeah.
like get a picture of Grandpa Joe's face and then like slowly like turn it red and his eyes grow red. It's like Grandpa Joe, the embodiment of evil.
Just turn it into a creepypasta. His eyes turn black and then the pupils start glowing red. And then the eye sockets start bleeding. It's grandpajoe.exe.
Back when we used to pick cocoa beans in Guatemala, we had the best chocolate, and it's like, the chocolate here's shit, but you know, well, I'm in London.
Well, we've been going an hour.
Oh. How do you shoot Willy Wonka in the back, Agent Kuyan? What if you miss?
Trying to think of ways to bring it into the usual suspects, but we're going on too long.
Well, I'm just right there. You know. It was Charlie, wasn't it? It was Charlie the whole time. He's the one that got all the other kids together to go to the factory. He's the one. It's like, you said a young kid that could wrangle the wills of other kids. It's like, it was Charlie, wasn't it? Yes, yes.
Oh my god. This was great.
Oh man, I can see that now. Like, Charlie laying there and Cindy's like, I can't feel my legs. Grandpa Joe. Oh, man. Yep. That works out so well. Evil Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe would be great in the usual suspects because of the whole, like, oh, you think he's walking with a limp this whole time?
That's right. Oh, you think he can't get out of bed? Oh, no, I'm not that good. And it's like, no.
He's bedridden the whole time he's telling this story. He's like, I would believe it was Mr. Kobayashi. Yes, that's it. And then when the cop turns back around to the bulletin board, he's like, oh, he turns back to the bed and Grandpa Joe's not there. He's like running down the street. Oh, well, thanks everybody for giving us a listen. I think we could keep going with this all night, but we better not.
That would be funny. Like above the, he turns and like above the door, like across the street is like a sign and it says like, you know, cab, and then like a restaurant says 8, and he takes a step back, and when he does, like something on the wall, like says like Babbage or whatever, but then when he looks at it, he can see cab through like the open door, then Babbage, and out the window it says 8, and it's like cabbage water, and it's like, oh shit. He puts it all together. And then, and then the other old people laying in the bed is like, Tom said to me, Grandpa Joe, Grandpa Joe, Grandpa Joe. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, okay. Well, hey everybody, thanks for giving us a listen. This was great. You can find our podcast wherever fine podcasts are podcasted. Apple Music, Anchor FM, that's our host site. Spotify,
Pandora, iHeartRadio.
I never remember these. That's why I usually just let you do it, because
okay.
You got this shit in the bag, man.
Radio, TV, and even the press, they call it the meaning of VAPORS. No, it's radio public, radio something. Yeah, we're there too, and I think we're on the Google Pod thing and something another. The Google Pod thing.
Yeah,
anyways,
should be like, I don't know the Google stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're on a bunch of places. Basically, we're anywhere you can find podcasts now. Thankfully,
yeah.
So you can't escape us. We are inescapable.
Just like Grandpa Joe.
That's right. Only we're not evil like him.
Well,
I'm just an asshole. At least I'm not evil.
We're not pieces of shit like him.
Right. But yeah, and you were, where can we find you?
not laying in my bed for 20 fucking years, that's for sure. You can find me pretty much anywhere on social media at Akomi Draws.
Lying in bed, just like Grandpa Joe did. Said I'm lying in bed just like Grandpa Joe did. Whoa, whoa.
And I ain't even done with the night. So if you search Akomi Draws pretty much anywhere, you'll probably find me. And that's pretty much it. I'm working on Inktober. It'll probably still be October when we post this, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to give these priority because, we got good things to talk about.
These are hilarious.
So my name is Turk182, and you can find me here hosting our Mom's Sticker Funny podcast with Akomi at all the places we just talked about. You can also find me in my other podcast that I do with Wallcrawler One, who's a rather frequent guest on our Mom's Sticker Funny, and that podcast is called In the Gutters, and it is a comic book podcast. We talk about all things comic books, and we basically just celebrate comic books, everything we like about them, our favorite artists, our favorite writers, our favorite stories, our favorite story arcs, favorite characters. We kind of do breakdowns on a lot of different things, but basically just a way to celebrate our love of comic books. And it's a lot of fun for us. I will like to, because I haven't done this on the other ones, but I will go ahead and toss this out there. If you know anything about comic books or a comic book fan, you realize that comic books is just it's a spider web of stuff. So we do have a tendency to kind of like go off on different like tangents and rabbit holes and but it's comic books. That's what it is, and that's what we talk about. So you can find me there. You can also find me on Twitter at Turk182_KE. That is for Karoba Entertainment. And you can also find me on Instagram at Turk182_KE. And KE, why? Because we like you. See, what else do I do? Oh, well, we've got cons that we're going to where, we try to hit up a lot of cons on the East Coast when they are available. So I think we've got a con coming up in Roanoke, Virginia. It's going to be the Big Lick Con. It's going to be at the end of October 31st. It's a 2-day con. And we didn't mention this in any of the other ones, but on the other episodes, but the Big Lick Con, Sam Jones is supposed to be there.
Yep.
Flash Gordon himself. Jim Cummings, so Winnie the Pooh. And I think they just recently announced that Renee Witterstatter, who is an editor for Marvel. I know her as the editor for Marvel from way back in the day. I think she edited some of the John Byrne She-Hulk stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, she's, there's very few editors that I really know by name. But she's one of them. Like her, Ann Nesenti, Louis Simonson, I think, Archie Goodwin. And what's that guy, that one guy, that black guy, what's his name? Chris Priest.
Chris Priest is going to be there?
No. I'm just talking about editors.
Okay.
I'm just saying, we talk about all this stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm saying because the Big Lick Con's going to have an editor there, and you hardly ever see editors, and people don't really know. But I know,
and a lot of editors don't table.
Yeah, and Renee Witterstatter was one of the people that I remember, from the book that I read. So I couldn't say she's a great editor, but I remember that I enjoyed the books, and I remember her name, and hell yeah. So
yeah, awesome.
So she's supposed to be there. Oh, and I think Jim Shooter's still supposed to be there too.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, Jim Secret Wars Shooter,
creator of the Shooterverse.
So and there's a couple of people. Oh, the guy from I think he's supposed to be there. The guy from Neverending Story is supposed to be there.
Oh yeah.
Treyu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're supposed to be there.
I should paint him a nice picture of his horse drowning in the swamp.
I'm sure he probably has so many of those. He's just like, not another one. There's that's all going on. We're going to be at that con, and I don't know who else is going to be there, and hopefully everyone's going to be able to make it, and we'll actually still have a con.
Hopefully so.
Yeah, and then of course we're going to be doing the GalaxyCon Raleigh, and the first weekend in December. And of course, we'll talk a little bit more about that as it gets closer to it. And then if there's going to be a GalaxyCon Richmond, and in 2021, we'll be there as well. That's normally in the spring. And I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything, man.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So that's us. Thank you all for listening and checking us out. Please listen to more of our stuff. And we'd love to hear from you. So you can always just find us on the Twits or the Instas or wherever else we are. If you like us,
want to find us, baby. Wherever you want to find us, baby.
Wherever you want to find us, man. We're not trying to hide from you. But if you like us, please leave us a nice rating. 5 stars is what we're really shooting for there, because that's what really helps us to grow as a channel and get better and to do better. So yeah, man.
And remember, people, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that Grandpa Joe was not a lying, stealing bastard.
And like that, he's gone.
There's a man lying dead in the chocolate river. He's not a body, he's a person, and his name is Augustus Gloop.
His name was Augustus Gloop.
His name was Augustus Gloop. His name was Augustus Gloop.
Did you hear what I paused? After the...
Right there, folks, that was Our Moms Think We're Funny. Let's give them a hand.